All right, here we are. Process of repair. My name is Mike Ash with Panda Exteriors. This is the 15th of November, 2024, above 55 degrees. At the Stommell residence, we are going to perform a attempt to repair by showing the likely repairability of number F7 already equated for in repair. And keep in mind, we have 12 damaged shingles that must be repaired or replaced that are already written for coverage. And got my trusty roof snake that slid down the roof right here. So I will be using the proper tools and methods of repair. And as you can tell, all the areas around are relatively tight. There are a couple corners that are loose, but these are tightly bonded. This will be the shingle for repair. And what we are going to demonstrate here is there any other concerning areas that may need to be addressed to come up with a more viable solution in terms of this open coverage for repair, which I believe is 29 shingles. But we'll let the documentation speak for itself. And there will be hopefully no edits or breaks in the video unless my camera falls, and that has happened before, so bear with me if that does, or tools fall. But we are on a relatively steep incline with significant granular loss, so I'm going to try and give you a good view here best as I can, and then I will be pulling the camera as necessary back down to where I am so that you guys can see anything that I label as concerning and get a view and a glimpse from how I'm seeing it from below. So with that, let me get started. The first thing I'm going to do is break the bonds of the row above, find the seam. Then I'm going to remove the nails, slide the shingle out, and replace with another shingle that we can take care of properly here. And if there's any concerning areas, we'll document all of that. And then we will also tarp in the event that there could be water coming into the interior of the home based off of the proper or improper repair that we provide. So with that, you can hear how crispy these things are. So got a little bit of mat transfer there, not that bad. And where will we go? Some of these are okay, so all right. This is our seam. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So these will be the ones that we're going to repair. We'll break the bond of. We've got just so we got proper label. So we do got some pretty heavy mat transfer on some of these that seem to be sticking very heavily, where it looks like there's some tearing in the back side of the shingles themselves. Hopefully that won't be the case when we're trying to remove the nail, because then if it is and it starts tearing through, then I'm definitely going to have to readjust it. Yep. I'll show you this in a second. Let me at least get these 4 nails out, and then I'll show you what I'm looking at. But nails have completely ripped through the shingle itself, which is not a good sign so far. This one as well. And as you can tell, being relatively gentle here by all standards, which sometimes I think is a little frustrating, because if the homeowner were left up to their own devices to find handyman Joe Schmo in a truck to do this repair, or any other roofing company, they would damn sure not be nearly as gentle as we're scrutinized to in the insurance restoration industry doing this portion of the work, especially when they're on a slope that is extremely dangerous. And if they were to have to repair 29 shingles all over the place, and it wasn't a company like us being upheld to the insurance standards and methods of repair, this roof would look horrifying from them doing what I'm doing at a very gentle level here. I'll show you exactly what it is that I'm looking at. We haven't even gotten anywhere yet. So it's my third nail. Tore right through. Just want to make sure we can get all these nails out because we don't want to leave any that are left up to not keeping the shingles down. There's our fourth nail from the first row. And let me just stop what I'm doing real quick. I'm not going to stop the video, but I'm going to show you what it is that we're looking at. Look, Hannah, this is from breaking the bond. There's been no stops, no video edits, nothing here. This is from breaking the bond in the shingles themselves in the surrounding area, the 2 rows above. And just by removing the nails of the first row, not even the second row, we haven't even touched the nails in the second row yet. Look at the shingle directly above, the one for repair, right? This is F7, the one we're repairing. This is the one directly above it. It's the one directly next to that one. Look, this is just by breaking the bond. Look at this one. This is the second row. I haven't even removed the nails for the second row yet. So there's only, and then the tearing that we have. So tore all the way, I don't want to look too high, but this nail, just by trying to access it, tore all the way through the shingle. You'll be able to see that a little bit better when I actually pull the shingle out. So I'm not going to lift the shingles too high just to show. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. We're not even halfway through. Haven't even removed the nails from the second row, nor replaced in a new shingle and re-nailed that one. So let's get these second row nails out. Where's our corner piece? Right here, tearing through the shingle again. I'm gonna have to hit this one from the bottom just to access the nail. Damn, what a shame. Nope. What a shame. What a shame. I've got 1 of 3 so far in my hand. Come on, buddy. Yeah, Hannah, we're definitely going to have to tarp. I'm going to get this portion done. That way I can at least say in all good faith and good efforts I've done my role as prescribed. But this is really bad. And for me to walk away from this, or any contractor to walk away from this without tarping it, would be a disservice to the insured, to the homeowner here on the account. Come on, where's this last nail? Okay, so Hannah, let me show you what it is I'm looking at. Let's see if we can get a good glimpse. But just by pulling nails, right, it's pretty bad. Just by pulling nails, all the nails that pull through. Look at this tearing, right? This tearing is rather significant. It's unacceptable. There's absolutely no way to repair the roof successfully, and I'm not even halfway done. So let me get rid of that shingle and show you what it is that we're looking at. So here now we have removed most of the second row of nails. There's 2 left. Only way for me to access and get those nails is by literally lifting these shingles higher than most insurance companies would allow us to in the process of this demonstration. And then 100% tarp this specific area, because all these shingles around it are compromised, right? So take a look. This is the second row. This is just by pulling nails. Haven't put, breaking the bond, pulling nails, haven't put new ones in yet. Right here as well. This is the first row. And some of the areas are directly over top of the felt, where then there will be access to, you know, plywood and water seams getting in there. I could probably get this nail out without having to lift that too high. So I might be able to at least finish the documentation here, but then the right thing to do would be tarp it. But either way, if you know you've been doing this a while, you can already see that this is a failure by all standards, and we're not even done. So I want to make sure that we're getting all this documentation live as we go, and then we will start putting this new shingle in here for you. Actually, I got to get this nail, and then we'll put the new shingle in. But please don't scrutinize me for having to lift this up, because you can't put a new shingle in without it being flush, and nor is it safe by any standards to leave a nail in there like that. I have to have access to it. There we go. Okay, should be flush there. Not bad, not too bad. So let's see if we can get this guy in. Alrighty. Yeah, unfortunately, trying to repair this amount of shingles all across the roof like this, we would have to at least triple, if not quadruple, the actual count of repairing or replacing. And in that sense, you're writing slope by slope all day long, because it just makes no sense. To demolish that much of the roof to pull in or pull out and then put in new shingles would make absolutely no sense in the world, and probably just create more damage and headache than it's useful for. People always complain about these roof snakes in the industry. I freaking love them. Okay, silver flush right into the tar bond. Technical difficulties over here because of the slope of the roof makes it very hard for me to get in here while I'm standing. There we go. Whew. This will be our fourth nail. It's in the first row. All right, this will be our last nail. If we can get her in, it's always the last one. I'm gonna give you a fit. There we go. All right. Now, I want to make sure that we're documenting everything very thoroughly, but then also assessing the situation correctly, being that it's quite obvious by all standards that in the process of this repair, we have impacted both rows above in creating what's considered consequential damage. Now keep in mind, as the rows start to go up, shingles are staggered like bricks. So we may have a seam here that's going left and a seam here that's going right, where now both of those specific shingles in that row actually have to be addressed in a form of repair, which is then just going to domino across the roof in ways that can get pretty ugly, right? And this is the reality of this level of construction, to where one, replacing one for one, so if there's 29 damaged shingles, then that's 29 shingles for repair. That's impossible. And then two, okay, so if 29 shingles needs to turn into 75, 80, or 100, what does that actually do with further impacting the roof? And I think we can both agree that by all standards here, this has been what would be considered a failure of actual repairability. That is considered proximate cause, and under the direction of this repair consequential to the covered damage has already been equated for. And just humbly requesting that, hey, we reassess this scenario, we get this taken care of properly, where a 5-star contracting service like Panda is going to come in here, just like we have in many of these other homes, and put an architectural grade shingle on the roof, regardless of whether ASI or the homeowner is going to pay for it. It doesn't cost us that much more money to order a bundle of architectural grade shingles than it does for 3-tab, because of our standing with the highest shingle manufacturer in the country. Which also means that, one, we are doing the job correctly, we're doing it right, we are providing a massive impact to the community, and then also protecting the value and the equity of the home a little bit further, because it's going to take a whole lot more in the future for any level of Mother Nature to impact the roof that we then put on this home. And I just think that taking care of this the right way the first time is going to be a lot more feasible for both the homeowner, the home, and for ASI in the future, to remove any of that further liability, because this is obviously compromised, right? And then what happens to these significant areas of repair, and then the very small sections of maybe half a square here, 1 square there in the middle of a roof that actually don't have any damage, don't need to be touched. But then, you know, next year, Mother Nature swings through and, you know, impacts the shingles in the same way they have here. And then it's like, okay, well, do we file another claim and receive, you know, another potential repair order, and then just turn the roof into a checkerboard of patchwork that doesn't necessarily protect or uphold the value of the home. And I think you and I could both agree that that's not necessarily the best way to go about it. Here, by all standards, this would be labeled as a fail. And I will put a couple of photos in our file here, but I think, you know, if you have taken a look at the process of how I've done it and watching the video here, I think this is fairly safe to say. And I do believe the proper form of solution would be a full level repair here. Perfect.